me.
Generals gathered in their masses.
Get out the way.
Just like witches at black masses.
Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way.
Evil minds that plot destruction.
Get out the way.
Sorcerer of death's construction.
Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way.
In the fields of bodies burning.
Get out the way.
As the war machine keeps turning.
Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way.
Death and hatred to mankind.
Get out the way.
Poisoning their brainwashed minds. Oh, Lord, yeah.
Oh no, the fight's out. I'm about to punch your lights out. Get the fuck back, guard the grill. It's something wrong, we can't stay still. I've been drinking and busting too, and I've been thinking of busting you. I'm not the motherfucking bowhead. And if your friends come in, tell me Bowhead, causing confusion.
All right. I know. Some of you guys are probably like, oh man, that's such a classic song, but Ludacris, he ruined it, bro. Like, why do they have to? Shut up. All right? It's a great song. It's a great mashup. That is by the artist, what's his name? The artist Girl Talk. And that's off his album All Day, which is mad old now. I think they came out in 2010, which is crazy. But a few of my friends from CrossFit Hoboken, Matt Burney in particular. Bernie, I wonder if you're listening to this, Bernie. Matt Burney was like, yo, you should check out that mix and play it in class. So I downloaded it. And yeah, man, I still play it to this day from time to time. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Mike D and the Sure Shot podcast. Hopefully the audio's sounding pretty good. Probably sounds better than if we were, I was in my car doing this. I'm actually sitting down. I'm in the gym. Let me take a sip of coffee. Pardon me. Delicious. Sitting down in the gym. Got my like earphones plugged in, the earbuds that come with the phone, and I'm speaking into the little microphone, as opposed to being in my car, recording this while I drive down a highway at like 80 miles an hour. Is probably a lot safer. One would like to think, at least. But yeah, man, welcome back to this show. And dude, it's been a crazy few weeks, a crazy month, really. The 2020 CrossFit Open just finished up. The final workout, 20.5, was pretty nuts, man. You had 20-minute time cap for time, 40 ring muscle ups, 80 calories on the rower, and then 120 wall balls. 20 pounds for the guys, 14 pounds for the ladies. Cool thing is you could divide that up any way that you wanted to, right? You just had to get it done within 20 minutes if you were, doing the workout as is. And I think this year CrossFit did a really good job of making things inclusive. Now, yeah, you might be saying, hold up. There were ring muscle-ups in that, man. Like, not everyone has ring muscle-ups. Yeah, I get it. But a couple things. Number one, I saw a few people get their first ring muscle-ups this year, which was really, really cool. Really awesome. All right, so like, it goes to show what all the training, hopefully all the training and practice you put in. Like if you don't practice something, the likelihood of you trying to get it, especially while in a state of fatigue, is probably not very good. But given that you've been practicing it, practicing that skill, a lot has to be said about the environment that you're in, right? Like that set and setting. And we're going to talk more about that in the meat of this podcast. But, even if you don't have a ring muscle up, CrossFit did this really good thing where it's like, all right, cool. The tiebreaker was how fast you finished the wall balls and the row for calories. Meaning that if I don't have a ring muscle up, say I don't even have strict pull-ups, which means that I'm not going to get a muscle up. If I go super fast and finish up the wall balls and the row, then I can still get a really good score in this workout. And forget the score, man. I'll just get a really good workout in because, hey, dude, at the end of the day, isn't that what we're all after? We're all after having a really good workout, having a great time with, well, great is a relative term, right? But like having a great time with friends as we work out together in this environment. Dude, that's what it's about. So really, really awesome. And really cool news. My friend Dave Syvertson, the owner of CrossFit Bison up in Midland Park, his gym, CrossFit Bison, finished first in the United States for CrossFit gyms in the open. First overall, man. And like he beat some pretty big names, names that have been around for a long time. Like he beat CrossFit NYC. CrossFit NYC has been around forever. So Dave and his crew, I'm going to forget names and I super apologize, man. But Dave Cristofaro, his wife Ashley, of course, Liz, Adam Ramsden, Terry, oh God, who else? Sam Ree. Like, dude, congratulations to them and to everyone that goes there, because I'll tell you what, man, every time that I step foot in that gym, both as an athlete and from time to time when I sub there, the environment, the atmosphere is so special, is so good. Everyone there is always nothing but welcoming, and that's the way CrossFit should be, man. So congratulations to Coach Dave, Coach Chris, Coach Ashley, everyone up there on your awesome, awesome accomplishment. So I actually recorded this a while back. When was it? I think it was November 8th or 7th or something, but the audio got screwed up because, well, I guess it was bound to happen with me recording it in my car, right? So this is a rehash of what I originally recorded. It was audible enough where I could make out what I was saying. So through the, like all that weird sound, I was like, oh, okay, cool. These were the points that I was trying to, put across. But let's talk about community and belief today. Community and belief, or ideals, so to speak. And this is great. This is a great segue from what we were just talking about with CrossFit Bison winning the national championship, so to speak, for the CrossFit Open. Community and belief. Community is a super, super important concept when it comes to CrossFit. And yeah, I mean, it's probably why some people are like, oh, CrossFit's a cult, CrossFit's a cult. Because like, if you ever step into a good CrossFit gym, I don't mean just good because like the athletes are good and all that shit, right? But I mean a good gym because it's a supportive, warm environment. That's the community that I'm speaking of, right? That's the vibe that I'm speaking of. And it's super important to realize that, yes, as athletes, as CrossFitters, we are the product of our environment. The environment that we're in is going to or can play a big role in dictating how well we perform, in what things we take seriously or not seriously, in what things we are fond of doing and maybe not so fond of doing, in what movements we're good at and other movements that we may not be good at, right? So we're a product of our environment in that way. But we also influence the environment. The environment is a product of what we bring into the gym day in and day out. And that is a super, super huge concept to keep in mind whenever you're at a CrossFit, right? Like the mentality, the attitude, the energy that you bring into the gym, that has a direct effect on the training environment. And hey, man, let me tell you, pause real quick, another sip of coffee. If you're listening to this and you live anywhere near Verona, New Jersey, you have to check out Blue Hippo Coffee Company in Verona, New Jersey. It's right on Bloomfield Avenue. One of the members of CrossFit Caldwell, her name is Monica Cleary, owns that shop. This is not an ad. She's not paying me to do this or anything. I just, I firmly believe in her and her establishment because it's fucking awesome. The food is great and the coffee is great. I highly recommend the cold brew. I'm currently drinking a large cold brew, which is delicious, with a little bit of oat milk. And yeah, I know it's oat milk, but oat milk agrees much better with my stomach than regular milk. So there's that little plug. Anyways, back to the subject at hand, right? So yeah, man, the energy that you bring into the gym is directly going to impact the training environment. And I've coached now for 20 years. Okay. It'll be 20 years officially in April of, is it April? Yeah, I think April of 2020. It will be officially 20 years, which is nuts. So I've been lucky enough, I've been fortunate enough to see and experience my fair share of training environments. I've been in really good ones. I've been in not so good ones. And the training environment can either be bolstered or it can be undermined by the attitude that you bring into the gym. For me as a coach, that's like 100%, 100,000% more important, right? Like 5 a.m. This is a great example. Today, what is today? Thursday, November 14th. It was super cold this morning. When I left my house at 4:20 a.m., it was about 21 or 22 degrees. So already not the most conducive to wanting to get out of bed. It was also very dark. I can only imagine what you might feel like when it's like, oh shit, I have to go to the gym now and I have to lift some weights or I have to, move fast, what have you. But if I brought that attitude into the gym, if I'm standing up in front of the room like, oh man, guys, it's so dark, man, it's so cold. Well, here's a workout for today. I guess we're gonna do, dude, that would suck. Like I just was listening to myself right now, and I would literally want to punch myself in the face, because that's not how you get people to go. That's not the type of environment that 99% of people want to be in, especially at 5 a.m. I mean, you're already taking people out of bed where it's nice and warm and cozy to do something that is inherently unnatural, right? Like, this is a little fun fact. I spoke about this a while back, but exercise is really a foreign thing to every other creature out there but human beings. Think about that. In nature, it's really about conserving energy and doing what you need to do to stay alive, right? Like, even something as savage as like lions and tigers and shit in the wild. Like, yeah, they're ferocious, they hunt, they eat meat, whatever, all this kind of stuff. Like, they're really scary, blah, 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 blah. But like, when a lion isn't hunting or mating, I guess, right? If they're not doing that, then they're sleeping or they're resting. They're really not doing shit, okay? So like, let's, go up the chain a little bit for human beings. Like, we're the only animal that's like, oh man, you know what? I really think that clean and jerking a bunch of times and then running and rowing sounds really fun. Let's fucking do it. So that's an unnatural thing to do. And when it's 5 a.m. and it's dark and it's cold, those instincts of like, self-preservation, conservation, dude, they come out. So if you have someone here, if you have a group of people, in the gym, you got to make sure that training environment is on point, son. So that's one of the key things that I need to make sure I do as a coach. All coaches out there, maybe you're not quite as energetic, whatever, you got to fake it or something. Like, figure it out. Straight up, dude, okay? So that's a kind of environment that I need to foster in here, But what happens if you don't have that kind of energy? What happens if you're not like the most bouncy person at 5 a.m.? Dude, small things make a big difference, right? Like, come in, say, good morning, how's it going? How was your day at work yesterday? How do you feel? Stuff like that makes a huge difference. Huge difference in someone's demeanor. Like, little things like that can add up to make the environment, to make the vibe, the energy, whatever you want to call it, even better, to raise everyone up even higher than where they may be. That's huge, man. That's super important. You know, I was thinking some more too, just about like my beliefs as a coach. I think that's really, really critical for each and every coach to know. And it takes some thinking. It takes some thinking. Like there's some superficial stuff on the surface, but then like as you get deeper, there's a lot of reasons there where you need to know. I think it helps to know. You don't need to know, I guess, but like in my opinion, it really helps to know what your beliefs and ideals are, because if you know what they are, then you can bring them with you to the gym. You can establish not just the proper training environment, but you can also establish the proper culture, the proper community. Boom. There's that word again, right? And it took me some time to really think about what is it that I believe in. So I wrote them down. Okay. And I'm lucky that I had these notes from the previous session too, because that'll help because the audio was all screwed up. So what do I believe in as a coach? Well, as a CrossFit coach, I firmly believe in CrossFit's tenets of mechanics, consistency, and lastly, intensity. We'll touch upon those, okay? Mechanics, form, moving well. That's something that, okay, here I'm just fucking say it right out, right? I'm sorry, this is a pretty aggressive tone right now to my podcast. Probably because this is cup number, I don't know. I think I've had like 8 cups of coffee so far today. Hold on, I'm still working on it. Oh, delicious. All right. Mechanics, form, technique, all that kind of stuff. I'll be straight up with you, man. Like, yeah, you know, there are some CrossFitters with like shitty form out there. But, dude, I was at the Crunch Fitness the other day by my house, which is actually a pretty legit gym. They've got lifting platforms. They got bumper plates. I can like drop shit. It's pretty awesome, right? But I was at that gym, and let me tell you, the amount of tomfoolery that I was seeing was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. And, you know, a lot of people weren't even using, you know, barbells or dumbbells or kettlebells. They're using machines, and it was mayhem. It was mayhem. And I don't mean that in a good way. I don't mean like CrossFit mayhem. I mean just mayhem in general, right? Like, if you've never stepped foot in CrossFit Caldwell, and if you've never stepped foot in any other gym, CrossFit Caldwell, CrossFit Bison, CrossFit Hoboken, right? And you haven't seen the way that these reputable gyms coach, then you should probably shut the fuck up about CrossFit and form. Hey man, I'm just being honest, okay? I know I'm being quite blunt right now, but you know what? Sometimes being blunt, being direct is the best way to go. Not sometimes, most of the time, right? Maybe not so blunt, but direct. I'm being both right now. A lot of people can talk shit about CrossFit. Okay, fine, blah, blah, blah. You see all this stuff on YouTube, but let's be honest, man. People like to troll things on social media, right? So whether it's CrossFit, running, weightlifting, powerlifting, strongman, track and field, swimming, name every sport, you're going to find troll videos out there of people doing like stuff wrong or maybe, you know, bloopers, fails, whatever the hell. But unless you've experienced CrossFit, real CrossFit, the way that it's supposed to be, I mean like back to the roots, like OG style, the way that I was taught, then you should probably not say anything at all. You know, keep doing what you're doing. If you're happy with it, that's fine, right? Keep it up. Just keep your mouth shut about that other stuff, because I firmly believe in moving well. Moving well comes first. Any athlete at any reputable gym will tell you that their coaches have no hesitation in saying, hey man, look, let's take it a step back. I know that you want to set a personal best. I know that you're looking at Jim over there and he's crushing it because, you know, he's been doing this for like 5 years. you started 5 days ago, man. Like, let's back it up a little bit, right? Maybe not in those words, but you get the idea, right? Mechanics, form, moving well is paramount. Consistency, moving well consistently, having consistent workouts, like all that stuff is super, super important. If you want to see results, blah, 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 blah. If you want to get better, right? You're going to see results by just getting better, moving better, right? Through moving better, you will be feeling better. Through that consistency and all that kind of stuff, that's where we really make the most progress. I believe in that, man. You can't expect much if you're very inconsistent with your efforts. Consistency is key. The last thing is intensity. And when I say intensity, I mean relative intensity. Like, each person has their own limit. Each person has their own, their own tolerance of how hard they can push things, whether it's weight or speed, whatever. Things that will affect your tolerance include how comfortable you are with the movements in question, your level of base fitness, your fitness age, your training age, how long have you been doing this for? All of those factors and more play into the amount of intensity that you can put forth. Each amount of intensity, each person's intensity is relative to them. And as coaches, it's super important that we realize that and that we are aware of that. But I do believe in it. I do believe that it is relative to each and every person. That's why, if there's someone in here that's been CrossFitting they may not have even been crossing for a long time, but say they move really well, right? They move super well. They've been an athlete all their life. They pick things up like that, like very quickly. I might push them a little bit harder, a little bit faster than somebody else that just started, right? Of course, I'm going to keep them safe. I'm going to make sure they're doing all the appropriate things. But, I know that person might be able to go a little bit more, tolerate a little bit more. It's up to us as coaches to know when to back it off. It's up to us as coaches really to know our athletes, to know our people. I believe in integrity. I believe in being honest. Being honest with all the superficial stuff, I don't want to say superficial, but because it's not, it matters, but counting the proper amount of reps, not being like, I did 23 out of 25 double unders. I think that's good enough. Or I think I tripped up, but it's fine. This is good. No, man, get the fucking work in. Just get the work in. I don't care no one cares if you're slower. No one cares about oh man, that person only got 5 rounds instead of 6 rounds. It doesn't matter, right? What we want to see is you be honest with the scores that you put up on the whiteboard. We want you to be honest with yourself, really. A key example of being honest with yourself. Say it's a heavy strength day. We are testing, we're trying to go for a 3 rep max in the squat, in the back squat. And the 3 rep max should be maybe around anywhere between 85 to 90% of your 1 rep max. Easy, right? So 85 to 90% of the heaviest weight you've ever back squatted. Okay, cool. That is a key example of where your integrity has to be on point so that you don't hurt yourself, man, and so that you get the proper amount of work in, right? Things like that make a big difference, not just in the community aspect, but also in your health and safety aspect. Have some integrity, have some honesty within yourself to know thyself, right? And it's hard. It's hard. Look, using myself as an example, I remember my lifetime numbers, right? I remember my lifetime numbers in the clean and jerk, squat clean, snatch, back squat, all those big numbers, all those big lifts. Those are lifetime, and those were set quite a while ago. I need to have the integrity and the honesty to say to myself, all right, man, you set those numbers a while back. Your life was a lot different then. This is how you've been training. this is probably where you are now. It's hard. It can be hard to take a step back because you remember what you used to do in the past. But guess what? That's the past, man. Like, you know, it's easy to live in the past, but if you continue to try to chase that dragon, something bad is bound to happen, you know? So have some integrity with that. Be honest with others around you too. Because, man, no one likes a bullshitter, dude. Like, 99% of people out there we can smell bullshit when when it's around. So, especially coaches, dude. Like, we know. We're around you guys a lot. We see you guys pretty much every day. You know, it's like, just be honest with us. That's all we ask. That's all we ask. And look, I'm not harping on anyone. I'm just saying, like, if you are being dishonest with yourself, as corny as it sounds, you're the one that's going to pay the price. And I've seen that happen on a physical level where someone was not honest with themselves and they chose a weight that was maybe too heavy. They chose a movement that was maybe too technical. And then something bad happened, right? You need to be careful and to be honest with yourself. I believe in building a strong community. And this is something I've been super adamant about since my first level 1 back in March of 2009. So we're talking like over a decade ago now that I first took my level 1. Something that blew me away with the CrossFit community. Sorry, another sip of coffee. Something that blew me away with the CrossFit community was when I took my level 1 in March of 2009, the workout of the day for the first day was, I think it was the first day, was Fran. Fran is 21-15-9 of thrusters and pull-ups. If you've never done it, you should do it because that is classic CrossFit right there. That's like, to this day, I firmly believe that is a great test of one particular facet of fitness, right? It's awesome. Anyways, we're doing Fran. I went to the level 1 by myself because, CrossFit was relatively unknown at the time to the masses. I know it's unbelievable, but it was. But went by myself and I didn't know anybody. I knew no one at the time there. And I was blown away by how genuinely supportive everyone was while I was doing this workout. And it was such a cool feeling. I didn't know these people. They were all very nice. But I didn't know any of these people outside of the seminar. And they were legitimately, like genuinely cheering me on and wanting me to do well and finish this workout. That's the kind of supportive environment, genuine environment that I've always wanted to establish and also be a part of. If that goes a long way in distinguishing what I feel is a good CrossFit from a bad CrossFit. The coaching, of course, the coaching makes a huge difference. Huge difference. But the community, I mean, dude, that is just as important as the coaching. Yeah, you have to have both, in my honest opinion. I want the community to be a group of people acting as one that have each other's back, right? Like, I think the more competitive that CrossFit has become, the easier it is to start like sniping at each other, to start forming cliques, to start doing this and that. And look, man, like, of course, you're going to relate to some people more so than others. That's a fact, dude, for sure. That's human nature. But at the same time, you've got to realize that you're also part of something larger. That you're a part of something bigger that has the ability, that has the, the potential, right? Has the potential for making a bigger impact than you alone, or you and your one other close friend or two other close friends alone, right? Like, the CrossFit community as a whole has the ability to do some amazing things. I've seen it and I've been lucky enough to be a part of it several times over, right? One of those, for key example, My wife Melissa has a friend, Nicole, who is battling cancer, and luckily Nicole is cancer free now, which is tremendous. It's amazing. We at CrossFit Hoboken, this is I think back in 2014, 2014. Anyways, 5 years ago now, we did a pull-up power hour to help benefit her and her family. And like no one at the gym besides Melissa really knew Nicole, but all these people came for this great cause. They donated. We had a good time doing pull-ups and muscle-ups and drinking adult beverages while playing flip cup and beer pong and all this shit. It was super fun. It was awesome, right? But that's an example of how the community can come together and do some real good stuff. I think everyone at a CrossFit gym needs to realize that like you're part of something bigger. You can be part of something bigger. We'll touch upon that you can be later, right? We talked about this already, but be a positive influence, man. Like, positivity is one of those things where a lot of people think it's a corny thing, that maybe it's not coming from a genuine place. I can say that for me, it comes from a genuine place, from someone like, I wonder if I don't know, Theo, you might listen to this. Theo, who I can't pronounce Theo's last name because I just can't, and I'm going to butcher it, but Theo from the 5 a.m. at CrossFit Caldwell, she's one of the most genuinely positive people I've ever met in my life. She's awesome. And like, whenever she comes into class, she always says good morning to everyone. And it's just that simple act of saying good morning, like brightens up my day at least. And it gives the gym like just this lighter feeling. Dude, we all have stuff going on behind the scenes. We all have stuff going on like in our personal lives, like things that we don't really want to talk about or bring to the gym. But having, in knowing that you're not alone, everyone has that kind of stuff. So you don't know what someone might be dealing with at home. And coming into the gym with just like a positive attitude, an attitude of like lightness, of wanting to just almost a carefreeness about them, that goes a long way. It really does. It can go a long way in boosting someone's morale, in boosting someone's, feelings of that day. I think if more people did stuff like that, just things in general would be a lot better. So building that type of community, strong, supportive, dude, that's like something I have believed in since day one. I've been lucky enough, I've been fucking blessed enough to be part of such communities at CrossFit Morristown, man. Look, man, CrossFit Caldwell, CrossFit Hoboken, you guys know I love you guys, and you guys have like such a special place in my heart. But Morristown, that was my first gym. That was the first community I was ever a part of. And that was a community I'm just going to say it. I mean, I helped build that from day one, from January of 2010. And, that place still has that community still has a special place in my heart, even though it's been a long time since I've seen or spoken to a lot of people from there. Ever since that place, that gym, then going on to CrossFit Hoboken, and then going on to CrossFit Caldwell. I mean, that's something I've always wanted to establish. That's been super, super important for me to establish. I will never back down from that. Never. That's something that needs to happen. That needs to continue happening. Sorry. But, I can't do it alone. I can't. I need help. I need help from my fellow coaches. I need help from the members of the gym. Anyone from CrossFit Caldwell, if you're listening to this, like I need your help. So it's not like in years past where I could devote all my time and energy to the gym. Pause for another coffee break. Delicious. So it's not like in years past where I can devote all my time and energy to the gym. I can't. Like I've got a family. I've got a wonderful wife. I've got 2 wonderful kids. And that is where I need my focus to be. Like the majority of my time, energy, and love to be. And CrossFit Caldwell gets that as well, right? You guys get my time, love, and energy, but the majority of that needs to be with my family. So I can't be at the gym quite as much as I would be in the past, as I would have been in the past. So coaches, members, I need your help, man. I need your help in making sure that we are as strong a community as we can be. I need your help in helping each other have each other's back, right? In knowing that we have a great support system here, and in knowing that support system is here for you whether you realize it or not, right? I need your help in doing that. That's something that I think has taken me a long time to, I don't want to say realize, but a long time to, almost like I've had to let go of feeling responsible for doing everything all the time. So for being like, if I'm head coach, I'm like, shit, I used to be like, okay, I'm head coach, so I need to make sure that I'm doing all this stuff and doing everything on my own. And that's a big error. That's something that, like, of course I can't do this on my own, right? Especially not now. I could never do it on your own. I mean, I could. I did in the past, but it wasn't efficient, wasn't optimal. I burnt myself out probably faster than I would like to at times. So I need your help, everyone. Anyone from Caldwell listening to this, like, I want to make sure we're as strong a community as possible, right? As strong as we can be. And even though at times we might have our differences and shit, like, we are all under one house. We are all under one, flying the same flag, under one house. I don't know how many other, like, cliches I can use. I need your help in making sure that we're doing all the best things possible. So that's it, man. That's all I got for you today. If you like this podcast, feel free to share it with anyone that you think it can help. If you have any ideas for shows, like future shows and stuff, that'd be pretty sick. That'd be pretty awesome. Just hit me up, message me on Instagram or something. You can DM me too, as long as it's nothing weird. That's fine by me. But I hope you guys have a great day and a great week. Like I said, I promise that I will pump out at least one of these a week. So I'll see you next week. Peace.
Teach me how to date. Teach me how to date. Teach me how to date.
All my bitches love me. All my bitches love me. All my bitches love me. You ain't fucking with my lady.
Teach me how to date. Teach me how to date. Teach me how to date. Teach me how to date.
All my bitches love me. All my bitches love me. All my bitches love me. You ain't fucking with my lady.